The first time the alien delegation stepped foot on Earth, no one expected it to be in a bakery. The year was 2147, and humanity had just signed the Accord of Mutual Exchange with the Tellurian Empire, a coalition of species spread across a dozen star systems. Earth was new to interstellar politics, still finding its footing among cultures that spanned light years. Trade deals, technology swaps, and cautious diplomacy filled the days. But it was the little, unexpected encounters that mattered most. And that's where I came in. I wasn't a soldier, a scientist, or a diplomat. I was just Ethan Carter, owner of a small bakery on the edge of New Manhattan. I had no idea that my simple shop, Carter's Oven, would become the stage for one of the strangest and most unforgettable moments in human history. Beginning, the alien arrival. It was a quiet Tuesday morning. The scent of cinnamon and butter filled the air as I pulled another tray of cookies from the oven. My bakery wasn't fancy, just wooden shelves, small tables, and a handwritten chalkboard menu. But it had heart. Locals loved it, and I loved baking for them. I was arranging a fresh batch of chocolate chip cookies when the bell above the door jingled. I looked up, expecting a regular. Instead, I froze. A tall, willowy figure ducked under the doorway. Her skin shimmered in hues of indigo and pearl, as though moonlight lived beneath her flesh. Her hair was silver white, braided down to her waist, and her eyes, large, luminous, and violet, seemed to take in every corner of my bakery with cautious curiosity. She wasn't human. She was a Tellurian. Behind her, 2 armored escorts entered, scanning the room with sharp gazes. Customers gasped, whispers filling the air. New Manhattan had seen alien dignitaries on screens and in controlled government buildings, but never here, never this close. And then the alien woman spoke. Her voice was melodic, her accent deliberate. Human establishment. Carter's Oven. That's me, I said, trying not to sound as nervous as I felt. Welcome. Would you like to sit? She tilted her head, studying me like I was the alien. Then she stepped closer, her presence radiating authority. I am Arya Len, cultural envoy of the Tellurian Empire. I was told this place carries significance. That you produce cookies. Blinked. Cookies? Yes, she said seriously. Your species offered them during trade talks. It was confusing. Our emperor has requested that I experience one directly. Of all the ways first contact could have gone, science, technology, politics, humanity's ambassadorial gift had been baked goods. Middle, the cookie test. I quickly gathered myself. Well, you've come to the right place. I grabbed a warm chocolate chip cookie from the tray and placed it gently on a plate. Arya Len approached the counter with measured grace. Her escorts watched, tense and alert. My customers held their breath. Everyone knew this wasn't just about food. It was symbolic. If she rejected it, or worse, if she reacted badly, it could insult the entire empire. She studied the cookie like it was a strange artifact. Her fingers, long and elegant, picked it up. She sniffed it cautiously, then narrowed her violet eyes at me. This is nourishment. It's more than that, I explained. It's comfort. Childhood memories. Every human knows the taste of a cookie. It's not just food. It's happiness in edible form. She hesitated, her alien dignity clashing with curiosity. Then slowly she brought the cookie to her lips and took a small bite. Silence. For a moment nothing happened. Then her eyes widened. Her posture stiffened. She froze in place as though lightning had shot through her. The bakery went dead quiet. And then Arya Len made a sound. It wasn't words, but a strange melodic hum that seemed to reverberate from her very bones. Her skin pulsed with shifting colors, violet, gold, and emerald, as though her body couldn't contain the sensation. Her escorts immediately stepped forward, panicked. "Envoy!" one of them cried. "Are you harmed?" But Arielen held up a hand, trembling slightly. She closed her eyes, took another bite, and this time her humming deepened into something unmistakable, pleasure. Her luminous eyes snapped open and fixed on me. "What is this sorcery?" I stifled a laugh. "It's just chocolate and sugar." "Impossible," she whispered. "This sensation, it ignites memory, emotion. It is warmth and joy I have never felt. Your cookie. It invades the heart." Gasps filled the bakery. Customers exchanged stunned looks. Her words weren't just praise, they were confession. Thalorians were rumored to be a proud, stoic people, rarely expressing vulnerability. Yet here she was, undone by something as simple as a cookie. She devoured the rest, her composure cracking with each bite. By the time she finished, her violet eyes shimmered with moisture. She touched her lips, as if to confirm the taste was real. The ripple effect. Within hours the story spread. Holo recordings taken by customers went viral across EarthNet and, soon after, across the interstellar relay. "Alien Envoy Experiences Human Cookie" became the headline of the decade. But the true shock came days later, when the Thalorian Emperor himself issued a statement. The human practice of cookie baking is declared a treasure of culture. Exchange protocols will be expanded to include culinary knowledge. In other words, cookies had become humanity's greatest diplomatic weapon. Suddenly I wasn't just a baker. I was invited to government halls, alien ships, and eventually the Thalorian capital world. They wanted me to teach them the art of cookies. And always at the center of it was Arielen. She became my guide among her people, escorting me through cities of crystal spires and oceans that glowed like living sapphires. Wherever we went, she carried a small pouch of cookies I had baked for her, nibbling them like sacred relics. One evening, as we stood beneath a sky of 3 moons, she confessed, "Do you understand, Ethan? We do not eat for joy. Food to us is fuel, nothing more. You gave me something my species never knew we lacked. When I tasted your cookie, I felt alive in a way I cannot explain." I smiled, handing her another. "Then you'll just have to keep eating until you figure it out." Her laughter, light, musical, and utterly unguarded, echoed across the alien horizon, ending a shared future. Months passed, and the world changed. Trade between Earth and the Thalorian Empire flourished, not just in technology but in culture. Human bakeries opened on alien worlds, and in return, Earth markets filled with exotic spices and crystalline fruits. But no matter how far things spread, one image remained iconic. Arielen, the proud Thalorian envoy, taking her first bite of a human cookie and showing her people a new side of existence. As for me, I never stopped baking. My little shop in New Manhattan became a place of pilgrimage, where humans and aliens lined up together for the same simple joy. Arielen visited often, her violet eyes always lighting up at the smell of fresh cookies. One day, she stood in my bakery doorway, holding a cookie carefully between her fingers. She looked at me with a soft smile. "You changed the course of our people, Ethan Carter," she said quietly. "Not with weapons, not with power, with sweetness." And as she bit into the cookie once more, her skin shimmering in golden delight, I realized she was right. Sometimes the smallest things like sugar, butter,